So today, in this beautiful environment, I will be talking about what is toxicity really. Because you can actually be a mass murderer and be non-toxic. If you are a mass murderer and you're telling me that you really want to kill me and eat me because that is pleasurable to you, then you're being honest and authentic. So being toxic is not the same as being good. It doesn't mean that you are a good or a bad person. It just means you have no emotional mastery. If, for example, you have anxiety and because you're so afraid, you are yelling at people, you're being unreasonable, you are, being a hard person to be around. Or if you're hungry for that matter, or you are in a bad mood because of lack of sleep, and you're sort of being an asshole to your environment because of that, then you're toxic. But if, for example, you have anxiety and you're telling the person that you're with that, listen, I'm so afraid right now that I don't know what to do or where to go. I really just want to cry. Then you have the same emotions, but you're self-aware and you're able to express those emotions. So, but the thing is that even though it doesn't mean that you necessarily is evil if you're toxic, it means that if you're not self-aware, if you don't understand your own feelings and if you don't check on yourself the moment these feelings come up, then you can actually get into situations where your subconscious mind is controlling you, and that can make you do things that are bad. I heard this story about this gay person that came from a very conservative Catholic family, and it was frowned upon to have to be homosexual. So he was kind of in self-denial and had a lot of shame around this. So one day he'd been drinking a lot, and at some point in time he kind of found himself in a gay bar, and this beautiful man approached him, and before he knew it, he had beaten this young beautiful man down, and he actually got the brain damage from this, and he got in jail. And to some extent, maybe this person didn't know what he was doing, but if he had been more honest and aware and had done some self-reflection, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. So the point of it all is that you can actually end up doing evil actions if you're not aware of your trauma. You need to kind of you need to feel into your emotions. You need to check your body. What's going on? If I'm having an anxiety attack, then sort of feel into it and acknowledge what's going on and express your fear in a vulnerable way, instead of just lashing out at others because you feel that you feel horrible, So that's what toxic is, when you are you're kind of either that you are not aware of what's driving your actions, but it can also be subconsciously, or that you're doing on purpose, that you're trying to control others. Because we all want love, and when our connection with others is threatened, or if we're afraid that we won't have the love that we crave, then we can start to try to control people. Like people with the more narcissistic tendencies, they would start to become more like a bully and start to decide what other people are and are not to think and do. Whereas empaths, they can become more passive aggressive. So they're sort of controlling people through, manipulating, being strategic, making people understand what they want them to do or not to do through sort of sending these signals. And empaths can also kind of hurt themselves, maybe most of all, because they are not setting boundaries for themselves. They're not being clear about what they want. So they're sort of being the nice person to make other people happy all the time, which may end up being a problem for them, and they will have they may get mental or physical problems from this because they're not being honest to others and to themselves. So I hope this was clarifying to what toxicity really means. It means that your communication skills are sort of bad, and it's not only that you're bad at communication, you're also maybe bad at understanding your own mental and physical what the body is trying to communicate to you. You need to kind of feel into your own body and your own thoughts and what they are trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you that something is wrong, and instead of acting unconsciously, you should kind of just acknowledge that and feel into that and be with it. And then if you need help, then express what you're feeling rather. I hope that was helpful.